Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, a selfish and unkind prince hosting a ball is visited in his castle by an enchantress disguised as a beggar woman who offers him an enchanted rose in exchange for shelter from a storm. When he rebuffs her, she reveals her true form and transforms him into a beast, and his servants into household objects before erasing them from the memories of their loved ones. For the curse to be broken, the prince must learn to love someone and earn that person's love before the last petal of the rose falls. Otherwise, he will remain a beast forever, and the servants will become inanimate. Several years later, in the nearby village of Villeneuve, the widowed merchant who lives in a mansion in a city with his 12 children. All his daughters are very beautiful, but the youngest daughter, Belle, is the most gorgeous among all of them, and the bookworm daughter of widowed artist Maurice dreams of adventure. Belle is the loveliest, as well as kind, well-read, and pure of heart. The merchant and his children become poor when their house burns down, and his ships get lost in a storm at sea and robbed by pirates. 2 years later, the merchant hears that one of the trade ships he had sent has arrived back in port, having escaped the destruction of her companions. Before leaving, he asks his children if they wish for him to bring any gifts back for them. Belle asks for nothing but her father to be safe, but when he insists on buying her a present, she is satisfied with the promise of a rose, as none grow in their part of the country. During his return, the merchant becomes lost during a vicious storm. Seeking shelter, he comes upon a castle surrounded by lifelike statues. Seeing that no one is home, the merchant sneaks in and finds tables inside laden with food and drink, which seem to have been left for him by the castle's invisible owner. The merchant accepts this gift and spends the night there. The next morning, the merchant has come to view the palace as his own possession and is about to leave to fetch his children when he sees a rose garden and recalls that Belle had desired a rose. The merchant quickly plucks the loveliest rose he can find and ends up being confronted by a hideous beast who tries to kill him for stealing of his most precious possession, even after accepting his hospitality. The merchant begs to be set free, revealing that he had only picked the rose as a gift for his youngest daughter. The beast agrees to let him give the rose to Beauty, but only if the merchant brings one of his daughters to take his place, or she The merchant, upon arriving home, hands Belle the rose she requested and informs her that it had a terrible price, and explains the story to all the children, but doesn't want to worry the daughters about who the beast is. While his older daughters refuse to leave and place blame on Beauty, urging her to right her own wrong. Beauty can sense the worry in her father's tone, and after much questioning, she finds out what has happened. Beauty agrees to go to the palace in his place. When Beauty arrives at the palace, the beast greets her warmly and lovingly. He gives her lots of gifts and treats her well. The pair bond through conversation and strike up a genuine friendship. Eventually, the beast asks Beauty to marry him, but she refuses each time he asks. Beauty grows curious about a recurring dream she keeps having about a prince who asks her why she won't marry the beast, and she can only reply that she sees the beast as a friend. It makes Belle question whether the prince in these dreams is actually real, and searches the palace to see if he is being held captive by the beast. For several months, Beauty lives a life of luxury at the beast's castle, having every whim catered to, with no end of riches to amuse her and an endless supply of exquisite finery to wear. After months of living with the beast, Belle grows homesick and asks if she can go to see her family. The Beast agrees, but says she must return after 2 months. He gives her a ring, which when turned 3 times will take her to where she needs to be. He also hands her a mirror, which allows her to see what is going on in the palace. When she returns home, her sisters are envious of this new life she has, which is full of luxury and lavish goods. Formed by their jealousy, they make up a story that they don't want her to go back and fake tears of sadness, which Beauty falls for, and misses the deadline of returning to the palace. Beauty begins to feel guilty that she hasn't gone back after 2 months, and decides to use the mirror to see how the Beast is coping. Much to her horror, she sees the Beast lying on the floor, dying of a broken heart. Using the ring he gave her, she turns it 3 times to sharply get back to him. She realized that she did love him after all, and ran all the way to the castle. "Please don't die, Beast," she said. "I love you. I will stay here with you," and kissed the Beast. The Beast turned into a charming prince and said that he was under a witch's spell. It will only when he found true love that the spell would be broken. From this moment, she realizes it's him she loves and agrees to marry him. Beauty and the prince are married, and they live happily ever after. And the story of Beauty and the Beast has become a classic tale that has been passed down over generations. Thank you. Subscribe the channel and stay tuned for more interesting stories.